Some time ago I shared a short dealing some massive damage with Zephyr. Some people were familiar with the way how to do this, but many of you were also not. So today I will show the build that I used and I will explain how it works, plus I will share some quality of life tricks that make this build easier to play. Before I get into it, I want to thank all of you for helping me reach 1000 subscribers, which is something that I did not expect to happen this soon. I appreciate all of you watching and I hope that you are enjoying whatever I put out. Now with that out of the way, let's dive right in. So the way we can skill Zephyr's first ability is with the augment target fixation. This augment will increase the damage of the first ability upon hitting enemies, which seems okay at first glance, but what is not explicitly mentioned is that this scales infinitely. This means that you can get some crazy % damage buffs if you meet the requirements of the augment, which is that you cannot be on the ground for longer than 2 seconds. Now, this seems bad, right? Well, not really. There are plenty of ways to keep yourself up in the air and make sure that you are not on the ground for longer than 2 seconds. The first option you have is by activating Tailwind just before you land to hover over the ground. Or you can spam Tailwind while you are on the ground, as this will be detected as being in the air and the damage buff will still apply. The second and preferred option to avoid losing your buff is by going into Operator while you are in mid-air. This will keep your bonus even though your Warframe will fall on the ground. Just make sure that whenever you switch back to Zephyr, you leave the ground again within 2 seconds. Some further quality of life can come in the form of aim glide duration mods, which there are plenty of mods for, such as Aerodynamic, Nearest Anguish, Stealth Drift, Mobilize, Patagium, Toxic Flight. There's a lot of different mods that you can use. Another way to help with staying in the air for longer, as well as increasing your damage, is with Parkour Velocity, because Tailwind also scales with how far you have been traveling before you hit the ground. Now, I want to share a rather overlooked mod, which can also help you, which is called Aerial Ace. Aerial Ace resets bullet jumps if you kill an enemy while you are in mid-air, and this can happen up to 6 times. Now I use this mod in combination with the Burston Prime Incarnon, which is great for killing enemies in general, but especially in combination with Zephyr's tornadoes. With the Burston you can rain down fire and easily get additional bullet jumps to not only cover more distance while in the air, but also quickly redirect your movement and position, which feels really good to do. Now finally, I want to mention that there is a bug hidden somewhere in this build. I will not explain how the bug works in detail, but this bug allows you to keep your target fixation bonus until you die, even if you are standing on the ground. Now, to optimally use target fixation and nuke all of your enemies, I would suggest the following build. Let's go over the Helminth as well as the Arcanes first. For the Helminth, I chose Roar. Roar helps us increase the damage of the dive bombs that we do. Another good option would be Nourish to help with your energy economy. However, this doesn't give you any damage boosts to your dive bomb damage. Now, both of these Helminths are not needed at all if you do not have access to any of these abilities or the Helminth system in general. Don't worry, just using Airburst, I believe is the original ability here, is completely fine. Then for the Arcanes, I am using Molt Augmented. This scales not only the damage from Tailwind, but it also scales the damage via an increase in the percentage damage increase that we get from Roar, which is good. And then I'm using Arcane Steadfast. This will help out with the energy economy because there's a 20% chance that the next 3 abilities will not cost any energy. So if you are mindful and use this, for instance, to cast your more expensive abilities like Tornadoes, this will help you out a lot. Then in terms of the modding, I went for maximum range. I recouped a bit of ability strength with the use of Transient Fortitude, as well as Molt Augmented. Then I went for some duration for the third ability on Zephyr, which basically makes us immortal, and for the tornadoes. And then finally, I went with Primed Flow to increase our energy maximum, which helps us cast all of our abilities. And of course, don't forget to put in target fixation. Now, in terms of Primed Sure-Footed, it helps out with keeping up the damage boost from target fixation, as it allows us to more easily get back into the air and we are not knocked down on the ground. However, if you don't have access to Primed Sure-Footed, what you can do is you can use a Dante Spectre or the new secondary Fortifier Arcane. Both of these will give you Overguard, and Overguard will give you status immunity. Another way to make the damage of Tailwind Dive Bombs go completely nuts is by using viral priming on your enemies. And you may have seen that I'm not using any viral on my weapons. However, I am using a Panzer Vulpaphyla with viral quills to trigger viral on enemies passively, and they will be procced with most often 10 viral stacks when you dive down to the ground. This is a general Panzer Vulpaphyla build that I have used a lot in the past. And that is pretty much all you need to know to do some historically accurate nuking with Zephyr. In the last video I did about Frost Prime. If you haven't seen that one, check it out. The link is on screen right now. I promised to give away Frost Prime set, so here is the winner for the Frost Prime set. I will have replied to your comments and we can meet up in game and I can trade you the set. Now for this video I will be giving away a Zephyr Prime set, so if you are keen to win that, make sure to leave a like and a comment on the video. And with that, I would like to thank all of you for tuning in, as well as for all the recent support, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.